You become what you repeat. Have you ever thought about how much your daily actions shape your life? The things you do every single day, your habits, routines, small choices are either pushing you forward or holding you back. Where you are today is a result of what you did every single day before. Most of us live on autopilot, unaware that our habits control our future. But what if you become more conscious and took control of your daily actions with a plan? Success, happiness, and health don't happen overnight. They are built through small, consistent actions. That's why I designed a habit tracker, a simple tool to help you build better habits and take control of your growth. In this video, I will show you how to make real, lasting, and reliable changes. Motivation fades, but habits create consistency and long-term success. I began this habit tracker 2 years ago and I dropped it because it was something unfamiliar to me. But doing things that are unfamiliar help you grow, get out of patterns. And the funny thing is, while I was doing this habit tracker, I became extremely conscious about myself. I became conscious about my own patterns. It was an interesting process because I had to actively use this habit tracker to make a habit tracker, if that makes sense. I had to stick to a strict routine. It's Sunday, and before I begin with my habit tracker, I will go for an easy run. Guys, I swear, since I have begun with running, my mental health is almost stable. And the more you improve, the cuter you can dress. And when I can wear these cute outfits with these color combinations, look how creative you can be with your clothes. That's also another motivation for me. I'm back from my morning run. Let's continue. I finally bought a desk that I can use for brainstorming and creating some exciting things. Let's talk about what habits are and why they are so important. Habits are repeated actions that become automatic over time. They shape our daily lives, influencing how we think, act, and make decisions, often without us even realizing it. From brushing our teeth to checking our phones, habits form the foundation of our routines. The habits we practice define who we are. A person who reads daily becomes a reader. Someone who exercises often develops a healthy lifestyle. Good habits reduce the need for constant decision-making. Instead of debating whether to work out, eat healthy, sit down and paint, a habit makes these actions automatic. Positive habits like regular exercise, good nutrition, and quality sleep contribute to both physical and mental well-being. Small, consistent habits create long-term results. Whether in career, relationships, or personal growth, success is built on daily actions. Oh, now I feel like painting again, I swear. When life gets stressful, strong habits keep us moving forward instead of being controlled by emotions and circumstances. I always have a problem that things are scattered around my flat. I just got this, so I'm going to throw everything that just lays around, and when I have time, I put it back to a place it belongs. I think that's a good solution to support me. By developing good habits and breaking bad ones, we can improve our lives and create a future we are proud of. The key is to be intentional about the routines we build, as they shape who we become. I have included deep work as a habit as well. After my morning routine, which I will show you later in this video, I sit down for 4 hours without any distraction. Often I turn on a 4-hour-long raining playlist in the background and try to sit there for 2 to 3 hours with no break. I realized taking no break helps me to sit there longer and focus, because I don't have to motivate myself to go back to work once I took a short break. I'm working on this habit tracker for over a week, consistently, and here's the thing. After 3 or 4 days, I came up with an artist edition. When you want to work on something, you just have surface ideas. It's something really abstract, you cannot grasp it yet. But when you sit there for a day, 2 days, 3 days, you shape it, and then you get into deep work and you come up with more ideas. And you're like, wow, I wish I began earlier. Good morning. Today I have 3 tasks: editing the ASMR video for my second YouTube channel, working on the habit tracker, and in the evening, paperwork. You know what's funny? Last year, I kind of let the things come at me. I was like, yeah, I will handle it when it's there. I stopped planning, and I was constantly paranoid, full of anxiety. I felt like I don't know what I'm doing, which direction I'm going to. The way I plan everything. I even plan if I do my stretches and tea and then I edit. After I edited for 2 hours of deep work, I'm going for a walk for 30 minutes, and then I come home and then I paint or do the habit tracker, and in the evening I turn off my phone and I do my paperwork. I plan this way. Because I plan, my mind is peaceful and I have time and I'm relaxed and I enjoy life. I hated life before. Without planning, I hated my life. I also have days where I'm like, today I'm going to do whatever I want. I would just lay around, do nothing. That's also okay. This might be also interesting. I start my morning with a morning book. Instead of grabbing my phone, I grab this book. Ego is the Enemy. I read 1 chapter every morning. I'm almost done with the structure of the habit tracker. It's going to be an artist edition as well. That means pages where you can track your improvement, make challenges, journal about your creative path, set goals. I want the habit tracker to be a bit more inviting because it's a lot of text and lines. I want it to be a bit more welcoming, so I'm going to design illustrations for it as well. Before making the pages of the habit tracker more welcoming, I will design a cover. Designing a cover for this habit tracker was a really unusual task. I think it took me over a week until I finished it. I almost forgot to talk about the habit of creating, of making art, because it's so automatic within me already. But I completely ignored it throughout this whole video. It has become my second nature that I don't even think about how I make art. Your habits can become so strong. Making art, beginning with anything, is like trying to go for a run. It's difficult in the beginning. It's not fun at all, but we can make it fun. For example, by creating a good environment for yourself. You have to honor the activity that you want to do. I like to compare making art with running, because running is a new activity that I'm trying to build, a skill that I want to build. So the first thing I did not buy any fancy shoes or anything. I just took my old New Balance sneakers and I ran with them and my gym clothes. So you take a simple piece of pen and paper and you begin. And I run 3 times per week for 20 minutes. I was so exhausted and it was not fun at all, but I made it a bit more comfortable for myself by listening to good music. And when I came home, I had my meal. make it comfortable for yourself and reward yourself afterwards. And also, the activity you are doing is as well rewarding. You have to bring that into consciousness. Painting, the activity, is rewarding as well because you are doing something and you make progress. Even though you don't see it immediately, you are making progress. You have to think long term. I was not able to run for 5 minutes. I can run now for an hour within 3 months. Keep in mind that we grow exponentially. In the beginning, you don't see any growth, and after a while, you just explode. Exponential growth is awesome. And it's absolutely normal. We have days where we don't feel like painting, where we don't feel like running. And it's even harder to begin with a painting or to go for a run because there are sources where we get dopamine easier, where we get the sense of gratification way easier without doing anything. But painting or doing the run or doing your studies gives you long-term gratification. It will build your confidence. You will be grateful for yourself. You will love yourself even more because you do the things that you actually crave. You want to paint. You want to make awesome paintings. I know it. And imagine yourself making awesome paintings. How would you feel? Imagine yourself being able to run, to wear awesome running clothes. That's what I also imagine. I imagine myself in the future. But I also love myself for making the decision. You have to love yourself in the present moment as well. Wow, I love myself for making the decision to become a great painter, to become good at any other skills that I want to achieve. Aren't you proud of yourself watching a video about building good habits? No matter at what level you are, always appreciate yourself and be proud of yourself. So these are all the pages I have designed so far. You know, when I have it in a digital format, it feels like nothing, kinda, but when I print it out, it's like, wow, I actually did some work. You know what's a bit hard for these pages? To do illustrations, because it's a lot of lines and text, and I don't want it to overwhelm you. I want to keep it clean, but also inviting. So that's the challenge for me when designing it. From the design, I can make it more inviting with font style, the thickness and space between the lines and text. What's up? I did 4 hours of deep work editing this YouTube video. I'll go for a 30-minute run, then pack orders, and then work on the habit tracker. I'll take these off and put on the finished versions onto the wall. This is when you print out the habit tracker on normal paper. It's a lot of pages. Maybe I'll add a few more. I'm going to hang all the pages onto the wall and then I will look for mistakes. For example, I can already see the mistake. This is too high. I have to lower it a bit. This here is the best page, a habit streak tracker. 3 pages full of habit tracker ideas. Yes. When you get your habit tracker, the first thing that you do is you choose a cover. And you personalize it by writing down your name. For my habit tracker, I like to take a binder which looks like this. What is so great about this habit tracker is that you can personalize it. You print out the pages you need and put it in here, and then you can go. The habit tracker also comes with an instruction. Begin with the pages now, where you reflect on your current situation in life and what you want to change. And then you can collect some ideas from the pages habit tracker ideas. There are also pages named vision and anti-vision board. I like to take this vision board and also this one, where I have more space and freedom to visualize how my future should look like when I follow my habits. There's also an anti-vision board page. You do the same there. Reflect about things you don't like in your current situation in life and which habits keep you in these situations, how you want to change it, and if you don't change it, what happens. Next, I recommend you to begin with making a routine, either morning and evening routine on one page, or when you need more motivation and write down the reason for your morning routine, why it's so important, then take 1 page for each routine. And this habit streak tracker is great for building daily habits. You also have space for weekly habits and monthly habits. Let's say you want to practice more gratitude. You use this gratitude tracker as well and write down things I'm grateful for, and here's space for the day. Or you want to move more, then you have an extra page to write down exactly what you want to do, plan your meals. And what you do is with these pages, once they are full, you print out another page and continue. And this is as well an artist edition, so I have pages with art challenges, here with the ideas, and then you flip over, write down which day, which prompt you want to do, and then you complete it, and then you can reflect about it, what went well, what you can improve next time. A creative log, what you have created, how much time you spend on. You can get this habit tracker with over 40 pages from valerielin.com. I'm excited to have these structured pages which will help you to improve your habits, build inner strength, and get closer to your goals. Change and growth is one of the most difficult things a human being can achieve, because we are often drawn to the familiar things. If you grew up in a chaotic family, you will seek out people who are the same, who remind you of your past wounds because you have not taken care of these wounds. And I told myself, I don't want to live like this any longer. So I take a journal, I write down what I don't like, what I like, why is this, I search about it. And then I take my habit tracker and I tell myself, okay, these are the things that I have to do for change. I was always seeking for emotional support outside until I heard the word self-regulation, emotional regulation. And that's why I have an evening routine and a morning routine to help me regulate myself.
We can't control our emotions, but we can understand, manage and respond to them in a healthier way. Emotional regulation helps us to stay calm and think before reacting, preventing impulsive behaviors like lashing out in anger, shutting down in sadness, or panicking under stress. It allows us to handle challenges, improve relationships, and make better decisions. For example, if someone criticizes your work, instead of getting defensive or angry, you pause, stay calm, and ask for feedback. If you're nervous before an exam, deep breathing and positive self-talk help you to focus. Are you stuck in a traffic? Accept the situation and find a solution rather than letting frustration ruin your mood. Like any skill, emotional regulation takes practice. Try mindfulness. Observe emotions without judgment. Recognize triggers to understand why they affect you. Heal emotional wounds by addressing their root causes and finding ways to work through them. The more you practice emotional regulation, the more control you have over your emotions, actions, and overall happiness. Instead of letting emotions dictate your life, you learn to respond wisely and make better choices in every situation.
I was not aware of this. I fell asleep with a lot of anxiety because I did not take care of my body to calm down, to process the day. When you wake up in the morning, you get woken up by your cortisol level, a bit of stress. But if you're already stressed, over your limit kinda, and you wake up in the morning, your body pushes more cortisol, you're even more stressed. And it's like, this is not helping me. This is a cycle I want to get out. And I looked, the people I'm connected with, my nutrition. Do I have to take some supplements to lower my stress? Do I need more movement because there's emotions within me that I have to release? Also, dissociation is not normal. It's a survival mechanism of your body from trauma. Okay, let me understand where this comes from and how I can handle it. I just had my second therapy session and my therapist taught me about the CBT model and how our body reacts to situations. We have 4 circles. The first one is thoughts, behavior, emotions, and physical reaction. The way we can be aware of ourselves is so interesting. I really recommend you to save up money and do therapy. I always thought I don't need therapy, but the therapists, they know so much about how we behave and why we behave certain ways and how we can control it and do things different to improve our life. But it's also an act of self-love because I always want to help, but I also need help for myself. So I'm helping myself right now when I take therapy. One thing I strictly do and put into my habit tracker is guided meditations to find into the present, into my body. I have a streak of 27 days. The main point of meditating is to realize thoughts and to let them go. So you focus on your breathing. You focus how your belly or your chest is going up and down. And at some point this happens and it's normal. Your mind wanders away. Your attention goes to a thought. And then you think about that thought, think, and suddenly you realize, hey, a thought. I should be focusing on my breathing. And when you let that thought go, without any judgment, you say, that was a thought. You come back to your breathing. And you do that for 3 minutes. And then at some point it happens again, you follow a thought, and then you come back, you say, a thought. And you focus on how your tummy is going up and down, or your chest up and down. That's one exercise of guided meditations. How it helps me is I get lost in my thoughts, and I think, and I exaggerate, and it's worst scenario and those things. And when you practice, a thought, nothing real, I am not connected to that thought, I create distance and I can let go of thoughts and be in the now. Every day we have 3 stages where we can be in. The first one is relaxed, the second one is fight or flight, and the third one is freeze. When sometimes I am in the freeze mode where I just don't want to get out of my bed, or I cannot move from the couch. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And then many times we take our phone and just keep scrolling because the problems in our life seem so overwhelming and big. And that's why I always say, take a piece of paper, write down every step that you have to do during the day, and then you see, my thoughts were not right. I was exaggerating my problems. If I do this step, that's manageable. I can do that. And then I continue to this. Something else that was beautiful is that we can trick ourselves. If we are in a bad mood, trick yourself by turning on good music. And then you feel happy again. And that negative thought is gone. I'm not sure if this is funny or not, but sometimes when I'm at home alone, I look like this. I love sneakers. I connect them to my childhood. I love just the color combination, everything. I know this fit is not that great, but it's, I get a lot of motivation and energy from clothes. They just inspire me. When I was younger, I motivated myself to go to school by putting together a cool outfit for the next day, and I was excited about the clothes that I can wear. That's just something rooted deep within me, and I use it as a motivation to sit down and edit. I read it once in a comment that one of you is tired of me unpacking things and that I get paid for this. I'm on YouTube since 4 years and I have never allowed anyone to send me things for free. Everything that I'm unpacking, I bought it with my own money. I always used to live with roommates who already had furniture. This is the first time that I have my own flat and buying my own stuff. I believe it's also interesting to see how I design my environment, because design is also connected to our painting. I was looking for a bookshelf for months, and with these types of walls I can forget a shelf, and I thought I'm going to get a really low one instead. Pretty. This is perfect. No, my books. Why do I say do not scroll on your phone before going to bed? Because there are things that spark fear within you. You just get random things onto your phone. It's like when you go out on the streets and someone jumps at you and yells at you and you're like, oh my god. And that's also what happens when you scroll. Anytime something can stress you, why do you put yourself into these situations? And something else I have put into my routine is taking care of my sleep. And these glasses will support me. In the evening, I have to work on my PC because this right now is blue light. And when it's gone in the evening, naturally your body releases melatonin. And melatonin allows you to fall asleep and certain things happen in your body. You recover for the next day. I have so many mornings where I wake up and my body is tired. I feel tired, my brain is tired. It's morning and I'm already at just 10% of my performance. Not acceptable. So you have to create a routine, something that is stable, something you can rely on yourself.
This is my current morning routine. Begin with simple things to not be overwhelmed. Remember, when something is overwhelming you, you will not do it. So begin with small steps. I always like to make myself a cup of tea. I did this for half a year until I added a smoothie. And once I did my tea and my smoothie for another half of a year, I informed myself about supplements and also added these to my morning routine. I made it a habit to run 3 times per week. The tea I'm currently preparing is for later, once I come back from my short morning run. My present self has to support my future self. So once I come back, I have tea and I can sit down at my desk and work. Stretching is also included in my morning routine. We store a lot of tension in there and we can release it by stretching, yoga, moving, dancing. Go stretch your hip area and see how relieved you will feel in your head afterwards. I never went out in the morning, but I realized when I go for a walk or a run and I get daylight into my eyes, I'm more awake than usually.
Is that we have to know how we feel.
Each day would start with going around the circle. It's difficult. I found it difficult for a number of reasons. She mentioned that in some cultures, there's very specific,
Sure.
right? Because as you pointed out, that
Make you feel peeved versus the things that make you feel enraged. For example, my other career with a particular behavior.
Hi guys, I'm at the beach right now. I always wanted to walk at the beach at night. The sound of the water, it's so calm. You know what's funny? I live just 20 minutes away from the beach. I could do my runs as well here. All my evening walks. I'll do that now. And look at the sky. Can you see the stars? And there's the moon. And another star. You know, it doesn't have to be a beach nearby. It can be a forest or something. Take yourself to the places nearby. Even, I don't know, there's always something surrounding you. And when you take yourself to these places, it's an act of self-love. I love myself so much right now for taking myself to the beach, because walking at the beach at night is such a different feeling. I've seen so many people with their dogs walking at the beach, and I ask myself, if you wouldn't have a dog, would you go to the beach? I think I saw 10 people with their dog and just one person alone, like me, walking at the beach. Just came into my mind, some people treat their pets better than themselves, treat other people better than themselves. And I used to be the same. I used to treat people better than myself, but that's not right, because you will feel empty and resentful if you do not get the things you're asking for. I'm watching Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Es gibt viele verschiedene Arten zu bemerken oder zu benennen. Manche sind hilfreicher als andere.
I have heard that this book is really good, with full agreements. I'm going to read this, and it's really thin. You can finish it in a few days. I read for 30 minutes